Hi, welcome to the Stockinette Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 119.
Oh my.
The 119.
The Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
The 119er. I feel like a broken record, but this weather has got to pass.
I know.
This too shall pass.
We are back into the negative temperatures,
as highs.
Yes. Tomorrow.
And my son and I have had some very existential conversations recently. My middle son, who's going to be in kindergarten this fall, about, he just keeps on telling me we should talk to that weatherman. And I don't know if some adult said that to be funny and he picked up on it, or if he just drew the conclusion himself, but he literally thinks the weatherman sets the weather. So I'm like, honey, no, he just predicts what the weather is going to be, and sometimes he's right and sometimes he's wrong, but in general he's telling us what he thinks it's going to be, not what it actually is. But Mom, we need to talk to him and tell him it needs to be warmer. Sweetie, but if he says it's going to be warmer, that's not going to make it warmer. It's just, yeah, it's 4-year-old logic, yo.
The weatherman controls weather.
He does. Just thought I'd let you know. So this is all Randy Brock's problem. He should not be saying.
He's on the tweets. You should tweet him. Make it warmer, dude.
Yeah. My son says, you're at fault here. Make it warmer, dude. So yeah, I've got another story that's weather related for later, but we'll stick with that right now. Let's get to the administratis. Boy, howdy. I feel like we've got a lot of administrati these days. We have a resolutions KAL going on that... Go ahead.
I was just going to say we have a lot of bags to give away.
Mm-hmm.
So there'll be probably at least 2 prizes. And I feel like we get better participation when I actually tell you what the prizes are. But bags. And the bags I have to give away are from my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think...
the Silver Shed USA.
Yeah, Silver Shed USA. And then maybe some knittings, my bag Lois.
Mm-hmm. And we've got some things.
Yeah.
We'll wrestle up some. So, get your entry in, and you could possibly be one of the few, and you'd have greater odds.
And your answer to, what you've done or gotten accomplished could just be this thing happened and my knitting goals went out the window.
Epic fail.
Yeah, epic fail.
What's going on? Else is going on. T-shirts are shipping.
Yay.
So our Sofa Bears are shipping. In the retreat news, we'll talk about the new shirts will be being pre-order available on Saturday of this week.
Yay.
We have a color work KL coming in March. And I don't know if it's reverse psychology, but whenever I have to wait for a KL, I'm super excited and stoked. I'm March 1st! Can it get here fast enough? I feel like I'm just treading water waiting for that March 1st. We had, again, should not say all the time, we had the Loopy U. I contacted them about their Loopy cakes that I have been coveting. These are, sorry for the noise, I wanted to show them to you, but I wanted to keep them pristine at the same time. You can't see them through the plastic, can you? This is the Loopy cakes, the Abbey sampler, which is navy, perfect pink, butterscotch, smoke, pesto, and cranberry. There. Let's get rid of it. And you get 6 110 yards. Each cake is approximately 1 ounce, 110 yards, 660 yards total for $35. And they're just so wee and cute. I was going to put you on the spot and ask you which ones you would combine for some color work. I really like the mustard and the gray together. And the navy and this perfect pink? No, that'd be perfect pink. This would be navy and cranberry. I like those two together.
I don't know.
You don't know? Those? Mm-hmm. I approve. Your selections have been approved. Unfortunately for us, we will not be knitting with these adorable little cakes. They will be prizes for the KAL.
Yes.
So thank you so much to the Loopy U. You should go out. They have some really cute ones. The current ones that I am enamored with are the era inspired ones. So like the 1980s one. Slays me. I also like the 60s. The 60s, yeah, with the they're very bright. They're like the colors of your Dancing Dog Dye Works Vivid blanket, right? I mean, they're like pow, saturated color. So yes, and then at the end we've got a large amount of patterns that we'll be talking about. We're going to specifically review the Elegant Economy's Geometrics, which has 4 mitt patterns, because it's called Geometrics. Funny how that works. And then also Amanda Bell has a really cute hat called Hipster Cred, and then we were contacted by a rally. How did we decide we were going to say that?
I said a rally.
A rally. Colas, who is in Scotland, who has some patterns, but those are going to be pre-KAL giveaways, so there's going to be a short time frame on that. So in the next week, we'll draw next week for those, so that you could have the patterns to knit with during the KAL. Aurelia? Aurali? Urali?
Maybe we're just pronouncing it the American way, and we need to like put our brain in a romantic language.
Could be. I am anything but not great at mispronouncing things.
It's a skill.
It is. Fine-tuned, American-tongued skill. Us pompous Americans who don't know how to say or speak other languages. Everybody must speak my language. Which is not to say that I don't think we have a fine language. Straight up self-striving KAL. Oh, actually, no. Let's go back to color work. So, for the color work KAL, another prize arrived. We alluded to it last week. It is the Two Guys Yarn Company, and they sent us 3 colors in their, are they all? Yeah, 80% superwash BFL, 20% nylon. The Standard in Sock is what it's called. And their slogan is Taming the Rainbow.
Yeah, they only have 2 bases right now, and
I think they're both BFL, so they're after my heart.
Experimenting with ordering other things and testing them out, but they're base bases. There's these 2, and we got the 1 to test out and give away.
And I'll be also reviewing it because I'm going to make my end paper mitts out of half of each of these, I believe. I'm super excited about my end paper mitts. I don't know if I told you. So I'll probably make some little baby cakes out of these. Baby cakes! So thank you very much to the Loopy U and to the Two Guys Yarn Company, and then to the designers who are giving us stuff to give away. I lean over and talk at the same time. I can totally do that. The Self-Striping KAL in February. The prize is this wonderful Grello post yarn self-striping sock, 75% superwash Corriedale, 25% nylon in the Spanigle Cave. So that's shades of gray. And a pop of yellow. And so get your entries in for the drawing will be next week, but the cutoff will be just whatever gets into that thread by Friday, end of Friday. Okay. So whatever Ravelry standard time is.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I wonder if it changed. I don't know how Ravelry works sometimes. Like if it projects my time zone onto their, so midnight Central for sure.
Okay.
Central Standard Time, United States. I don't know. I hadn't thought about it. I deal with that kind of stuff at work, different time zones and such, but hadn't thought about Ravelry having time zones and displaying to me what your time was and translating it into mine. Anywho, a new prize arrived in the self-striping arena. HG Yarns, who you'll be hearing a lot about come next week because they are our March sponsor, sent their, and they spoiled us rotten. Rich and Danny did. This is their MCN base, and it comes in this clear tube, and they have them, because each of their stripes are so unique, they auto-magically split it for you. I think they sell it in non-dual cakes form, but for socks, this makes the most sense. So yeah, this is their 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. So there's 430 divided between these two, and this is a new colorway that is called Storm's Companion. Storm's Companion. Oh God, it's so rainbow-licious. And these are some soft balls, yo.
That's just so cool that they have an example knitted up.
Yeah.
And on the card.
Yep. And Vanny knits those up.
So very helpful.
Or could it be Yanni? I don't know. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. I'm so sorry if I'm saying your name incorrectly.
Epic fails this evening.
Yeah, V-A-N-I-E. Is that how you would pronounce it?
Sure.
And now for our misadventures in pronunciation. And last but certainly not least, Kirby Werby sent us, this is a new colorway. This is Cherie. She sometimes moonlights as a podcaster on the Suburban Stitcher podcast.
Okay.
With Diane. And I love when she's on there because Cherie always has a way of putting things that makes me understand. And she loves herself a double gusset. Let's just put it that way. So the colorway name, it's got some grays and some lighter grays, some darker grays, a black and a pop of orange. And the colorway name is Who Invited You to the Party, Bright Arse Orange, which I thought was very fitting. And this is on her soft and squishy base, and it will be part of the KAL. So she included a funny note saying that she felt rebellious writing Bright Arse Orange on a ball band, and I giggled. Writing on a ball band more than Bright Arse Orange. So here's a visual for you. Yeah, writing Bright Arse Orange on a ball band. Whoop. So we've got the color work. Bijou Basin Ranch was the last prize that we'll be drawing for next week. And that
Gonna be a busy week.
concludes all of the prizes. I just feel so fortunate.
Yeah.
I look at this stuff coming to my house, and my husband gives me a hard time. Like, I thought you said you were ordering yarn. I was like, you know what? It's not for me. And my daughter has recently decided she wants to knit again, and she picked up the Kirby Werby and was like, Mom, can I knit this into washcloths? And I was like, no. No on so many levels, daughter. Like, A, that's not washcloth yarn. B, that's not my yarn. But it's sitting here, and I'm like, but it's not my yarn, sweetie. It's somebody that watches the podcast's yarn. It's not mine to use. So
she goes into the next room and downloads and posts in our threads.
She's going to start knitting some self-striping so that she could win.
Yeah.
Kirby Ruby. I mean, she's got to earn it. You can't just hand things to kids. They got to earn it. And that ends in Minestrati. You thought it would never end. I am very thankful, though. So I'm glad that we have a lot to talk about because we're giving things to people. So that's excellent.
Awesome.
Do you have any of those? You do?
I was just going to say that one of my prizes made its way, or not. I don't know if it's landed yet, but it's been off to Canada. But the other prize hasn't been claimed yet. So,
The other post yarn.
Oh.
The other post yarn hasn't been from earlier January's entry. Hasn't been claimed, so you might want to go back.
Yeah. Or if you know the person that did win,
Nudge them.
Yep, go for it.
Okay. What is this again?
This is my Myrtle.
Myrtle.
that I modified into a pullover. And then I also took the lace out of the sleeves and these side panels. And it's knit top up. And you're supposed to be knitting the sleeves, but I did the cheater where you provisionally cast on the sleeves and then finish the whole thing and then go sleeves down. I had plenty of yarn. I would say I still had like a third of one ball left. So, and I did the full length sleeves all the way down to, like top of my hand.
And you washed and blocked.
Yeah, this is freshly blocked. So I have not tried it on since I freshly blocked. Hopefully everything still fits. Actually, what I'm really hoping is that I tried to get more length out of it. Mm-hmm. The bottom is looking fabulous now because it was wavy before because of the lace pattern. And yeah, and the arms kind of tampered down too. Like, I may still reknit these because they seem to flare when it's on. Just because you're moving from stockinette to garter without changing needle sizes.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
But I was like, it didn't indicate that I should do so. But I also noticed that they have their sweater ending up here.
Where the flare might actually become negative.
Right, exactly. They had it ending here instead of down at the wrist. So, it's what you get with you modify. You just gotta go with the flow. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. Yep. So I really enjoyed the pattern. I had the lace problem where the rest rows weren't really rest rows every so often, and so I'd have to knit back or tink and then go again. But that didn't happen a whole lot, just when I wasn't paying attention.
Super gorgeous.
Yeah, it's nice. It
looked really nice on you. You posted that picture on Instagram.
Yeah, it's MCS. It's getting fuzzy, so we'll have to do a nostalgia on it after I've gotten a chance to wear it a bunch, just to see how the yarn's held up. But it's at a decent gauge. I don't think that it'll be too bad. And my husband's socks, the Perry the Platypus, were finished and given to him, and I didn't know where they were when I came to see you.
Socks missing.
Yes.
Please call.
No. He has them.
1-888.
He has them. I'm sure they're in his part of the bedroom. They're on his dresser. But yeah, it was lovely. It was a nice challenge. It was finished within the allotted ravelinic as long as you don't count ends, because I wanted to block first before I did anything with the ends. Because I wanted to block it, try it on, and see if I wanted to redo the cuffs before I decided. But it is a finished sweater, completely finished. Those pesky ends,
I see them. I didn't know if you were going to try to rip something out and redo it, and that's why you left them in. Or...
The collar was bugging me before, but it's not bugging me now. So the wash must have given it more of a blend to the rest of it or something. But yeah, I think the cuffs would be the only thing, and I haven't tried it on since I blocked it, so
cool.
Hopefully I don't have to reblock it wider. I've been feeling like I need that lately. Don't we all?
It has been feeling like endless winter.
Yeah.
It's hard to get outside and do anything. All right, brace yourself. I have a parade of FOs. Brace yourself. I finished the Anterose, which is by Shannon Cook, out of Max-alanche MCN. I have yet to pick out buttons. I was thinking about putting my Pymatoonig wooden buttons on it, and then Amy suggested that like a pearl,
pearlescent type would be better.
Would be really pretty. You put it on, I guess. It grew a great deal. This is the first time post-washing I have ever put something in the
dryer.
In the dryer, yeah. it was big, and it's not the fault of the patterns. It was
The yarn.
It was the yarn for sure. And this was like probably up to here. It was ginormous.
Hi, Max.
Did you decide to come sit and join us? Super exciting. And I really like it. It's got positive ease, and it had a lot of positive ease before I popped it in to the dryer. I didn't make many modifications. I had to modify for gauge, so I had to go up to a different... Hi, sir. Oh, I love you too, Max. I had to go up to a different size to adjust for said gauge. And I always add to my... You're getting kisses too. Oh, aren't you a love bug? Aren't you my love bug? Focus, sorry. Gauge math was done, and I just went up a bust circumference, taking into account that I needed a certain amount of positive ease the pattern was written for. The garter portions around the bottom and the wrist were you were gonna it's knit in the round, and so you were gonna have the transition from where you went from knitting in the round to purling in the round, and I don't like that. And I think it was my Dragonfly sweater by Joji Locatelli. On the collar, instead of having that, it kind of looks like a seam where you transition between knitting and purling in the round on garter. She just had you knit that division every single row, and I liked the look of it, and so I added it here. So on both sides, I've got the garter is broken by the one stitch, and the same on the band. I had noticed as well that you didn't change needles here, and it flared out a little bit, but I don't think it's a deal breaker. I really, really enjoyed knitting this pattern because this simple stitch motif kind of kept me going. Like, oh yeah, now the arrow's got 3 stitches, now there's 5 stitches, and it can be worn open like this, and it will be able to be buttoned once I put buttons on it. And that's all I have to say about that. Okay.
Next parade. You've got more parade.
I do. So I cast on after I finished this and finished my other sock for my new design, which is through Little Skein, littleskein.etsy.com, and I think she's littleskein.com. It's Annie Light Knits on and Annie Light in many places. Is putting together a kit with the Read to Me series, which guess how much I love you. It was the inspiration. And if you're not familiar with the book, which a lot of people probably are, there's Nut Brown Hare and Little Nut Brown Hare, and they basically compete to tell the other person how much they love them. And the big Nut Brown Hare often gets to outdo the Little Nut Brown Hare by saying, one bigger or the next bigger. And so the very the end of the story is I love you right up to the moon and back. So the name of the pattern is To the Moon and Back. It's a very heavily cabled sock. I have it on the sock blocker here, and again, you're going to be able to see pictures of the stitches a lot better on Ravelry or via social media. Have you ever tried to get the top of a sock really visible? If it's not on your foot. So there are infinities that are being matched and trailing up the sock. It's a mirrored sock, so the right foot and left foot are distinct. It's available in child's size all the way up to like an extra large male size. This yarn is the yarn that will ship with the kit, which is through Mustache Yarns, which is Stacy, and she's got a super cute new graphic with a bird and some yarn balls in the nest, which is super cute. We kind of took some, it's been super fun because I've been involved in the whole process. It wasn't like, here's this yarn and design for it, which is, it's fun in and of itself. It's kind of a make it work type Tim Gunn situation, but I was involved in the colorway development, and so it was super rewarding to see it, progress and collaborate with and Stacy, and so we picked out, we decided that it had to have some brown in there because of little nut brown hair. And then we took colors literally from throughout the book, which is really cool.
Blue and green. And
Blues and greens and purples. So it's the cables really work well both with a tonal and this is not a highly variegated, I would say, but a variegated. And I have written the pattern such that if you do not want to purl all of these stitches in between, you can also knit them. So these are not, and it's kind of killing me a little bit, to be honest with you.
Call that highly variegated?
I mean, it's highly variegated in that it's not just two colors, but
okay.
I don't see a lot of, I don't know, maybe, yeah.
I see what you're saying. No, less pooling. It seems to blend better.
Yeah, it's blend. It blends well. But yeah, there's garter. This one doesn't match. It's garter on the front and the reverse stockinette on the back, and then this one is just reverse stockinette all the way through. Because the pattern's called to the moon and back, I'm calling this the spacious heel, which is that OMG heel I've been talking about that has twice as many. So this has the little mini OMG gusset, and this one has twice as many in the gusset. So it's taller. It fits really nice. Both the OMG standard and the OMG spacious OMG fits me really well. So Amy's like, hiya!
Hello, foot.
And so that's done. And those are going to be on the 16th of March. So I think we're going to be at Knitting Pipeline. And that goes out. Is that Sunday? Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
Yep, it is.
Pipeline just snuck up on me.
It did. All right, more FOs. I've got some leaps. So I bought some dishy because my mom mentioned that she wanted some dishcloths, and so I've got some red, some green, some orange. Turns out I went a little crazy buying dishy because I'm going to get a bajillion just out of these three, and I think I have 3 more.
Oh, yeah.
Not in these same colors, but I have heard through people that I'm not an expert on cotton by any means, but I love this cotton, which I really like through Hobby Lobby, but I've heard through the grapevine that doesn't absorb as well.
Okay.
And this is definitely softer than Peaches and Cream. So this is kind of like the marriage between a super soft cotton that doesn't do as well with dishwashing, maybe a little pilly, not sticky together, and then the kind of harsh, which might not be bad for a dishcloth in the Peaches and Cream, but it might not be fun to knit with.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, I'm not an authority, so please feel free to go out to our forums and say, this is the best cotton, actually. But I can't say that I followed any of these patterns directly. The first one I knit was this one, and it's the garter stitch leaf, and I don't have who the actual, it's a free kind of recipe out on Ravelry that I found, and I didn't like that there was yarn overs around the stem, so I did make one rights and make one lefts, and I made it bigger than it was written for. And then this one is by the Leafy Washcloth by Megan Goodacre. And again, I modified that heavily. She had your increases and decreases along the same spine in the middle, and it made it really biased.
Oh, okay.
So I just did the increases for the increased part in the middle, and then I did the decreases on the outside, and you get the same basic shape.
Mm-hmm.
It's still pretty biased because it's...
Just see what hers looks like.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah. So I'll linky-loo those, but it's fun to have something that you can knock out in a short amount of time. I can kind of see like the vivid square modular knits. Mm-hmm. And then my daughter is working on the green as well. I pulled a big chunk out and told her, no, you can't knit washcloths with curvy wurby, but you can knit with some dishy. Mm-hmm. And that is that. And then a daycare provider that works at where we take my child, who is responsible for our children, all of our children, helping me raise my children, is a lover of knits. And so this is the second time that her daughter had some knitted gloves that were ailing, and instead of just throwing them away, because these are store-bought, they're lined. I'm assuming they're store-bought. I don't think somebody made these. But instead of throwing them out and just going to the store and buying more, she goes to the yarn shop, picks out some Cascade 220 that matches, and asks me to mend them. And as a person that loves knitwear enough to do that, I kind of feel like they're knit-worthy.
Yeah, exactly.
So the thumbs were originally on these a bind off and it wasn't a flap like this, so I didn't knit all of these gloves. I just knit this piece and this piece, and it fell apart. It was just a bind off and a cast on, and you could stick your thumb through the hole in the and then it had a top, and I turned it into a convertible. So I took the place where there was a hole and I made a little stump in that color, and then I made them convertible by a little thumb flap on top.
I see. So this person used to have this, basically.
But it still had that, and I should have kept it. It was like this.
Oh.
So you could stick your thumb through the hole if you wanted.
Oh, okay.
Or you could have the hole still there, but down further on your...
So this is more of a flappy one.
Yep. And I like it. I hope she likes it as well. And I asked her, I was like, is it okay if I just turn it into a convertible? Because I think that any cast on and bind off that's in a place where it's getting high traffic is probably going to wear thin like it did. Anyway, so I wrapped those up, but every time I walked past them, they were sitting there. She gave them to me before Christmas.
Oh.
And I was like, I have Christmas knitting. And so every time, this kept on getting put off, and I'd walk through my dining room and they'd be staring at me. They'd be glaring at me. Like, you still have those mitts you need to do for your daycare provider's daughter. And so now I have a theory, and let's just see if this theory pans out. I kept on thinking, if I don't knit these, by the time I get to them, it's going to be warm enough that she won't be able to wear them. And then I thought, maybe it's like the car wash. When you wash your car, it rains right away and you get it all dirty. So maybe now that the mitts,
them, it'll get warm.
Yes, she won't be able to wear them because I finished the mitts. But I'm going to segue right into, because I'm running long, sorry, too many things to talk about. She then has a huge ball of yarn left over, and she's like, well, you can just keep it for, mending it for me. And so last time she asked me to mend something, this is the second time, I knit her a hat. And this time I'm knitting her a Measure in Love with the leftovers. So her daughter will have a hat that will match the thumb of her mittens.
The thumb, yeah.
Or her gloves. I guess they're actually convertible gloves, not mittens. Sorry. Anyway, that is...
Either way.
That is my one work in progress. So, Megan's section, done.
Yay!
What are you working on?
I am working on my Kiviet socks. Yes. High luxury.
And every time you knit on them, you're like,
yeah,
I need to go get more.
Yeah, I stopped by the website, take a look, see what color is calling my name. Yeah. But I already have some that I can knit with. It's in my house. Why do I need more?
Because you're getting the hoarding urge, right?
Yes,
like,
I am.
What if I can't get it?
Yes. So I have most of a new sock done. Odd sock puppets here.
Fun with socks. Odd socks.
Yes. Socks. Puppets. It'd be a very expensive Stifle and Ollie episode, wouldn't it?
Production value has gone way up since we started using the Kiviet sock.
And then I started a stitch surfer. I'm not terribly happy with the backside and how it looks, and so if you've ever knit them, that's what she said. Yeah, the backside and how it looks. So, yeah, I might keep going and just read a lot more about construction of them. Like, I haven't watched the tutorials that are out there, and I haven't done anything. I just went straight off the pattern and did my best, and I'm not happy. So we'll see how far we get with these. They might just be scrapped and a different pattern picked out for them. But it was my hope to actually do them.
Is there any hope of tightening it up post knitting?
Yeah, I'll have to look a little bit more. It's just so messy. Anywho. So all those beautiful Stitch Surfer sock patterns, like, somebody do this for me. And take a picture.
And post it on the forums. I'm all about forum activity.
Yes.
I want people to talk to us. Please.
So yeah, if you've done them before and you want to post a picture of your backside surfers, or maybe like, oh, what I learned to do is XYZ.
And you might find that from the tutorial.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't listened to them yet. This was just me playing around this evening, and I went straight off the pattern. I didn't do any other research. And I had to cast on several times because they're inversibles, and I want to make sure the stripes are lining up. So
it might be cool if they didn't line up.
Yeah, it could be.
Like staggering.
Yeah. They might end up being that way too. So
as hard as you try.
So then I also cast on the cuff of some skip rib socks for a friend of mine. So
what yarn is that?
This is Snowmaker's Maleficent. So she picked that out of my stash. And the last but not least thing that I have been working on is that sweater for somebody who contacted me. So I finished.
You're a surrogate knitter.
Yeah, I'm surrogate knitting for somebody. So this is, yeah, this is gonna be long. Anywhoosie, I got that one side done, and then I started the next panel. I only have like 3 more repeats, and then there's more shaping to do. It's turning out to be fairly, I don't know, semi-mindless. Not too bad. The pattern is, one where you have to like remind yourself, like, oh, don't blow past that. Certain milestones you have to change the pattern a little bit. But cruising along when I get time for them. I've had a few nights where I haven't really felt like knitting. Odd for me, right? So just playing around on a tablet. But yeah. When you get one whole side done in an evening, or not one whole side, but that start that you saw was one evening's worth of work, I thought, oh, this is going to zoom. So, not putting as much priority on it because I think that it'll be done in no time flat.
Cool.
And I have been wanting to cast on all the things, right? Because I finished my fingering weight garment, and apparently a lot of socks have been attractive to me. But with the kale coming up, I'm going to be knitting on the mitts. And there's a few other projects out there that kind of, like, I have homework to do for Yarn Over.
I'm in those same classes, so I must as well.
Yep. And it's color work, so. You'll see my boring homework assignment for my. It's actually a cowl. It's a short cowl.
You have to knit a whole cowl for homework?
Yeah.
Wow. Which class is this for?
Frankly, I haven't.
Okay.
Something about sticking. Exciting.
And so we are to the point where we're going to be talking about patterns.
Yeah.
Now we're done with your whips. I'm holding off on casting on all the things, so I've been knitting odds and ends.
Okay.
Odds and ends has been my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, so let's start out with the Geometrix, the mitts by Elegant Economy. I'm gonna de-keyboard my tablet here. There are 4 patterns in the Geometrix, which is Elegant Economy, as I just said. And they are, can I get them all on the screen? I may or may not be able to do this. We haven't shown anything on the iPad in a while. But they're 2 color work mitts. I think I figured out I have to point it down so that the...
Well, it's 4 mitts, right?
Oh! Max-alanche!
Max-alanche.
No, he's not happy. He's unhappy. The 4 minutes. What did I just say?
You said 2 minutes.
Okay, well, each pattern is for 2 minutes. Then there are 4 different patterns. The chevron mitts, the gotcha mitts, the inversion mitts, and the Venn mitts. And so you liked the Venn mitts.
Yep. That's what I'm going to work on.
Mm-hmm. So there is a picture of that.
Yeah, so flowers and circles and
yeah,
I liked it.
The intersections of circles, and it is written for Aran weight yarn. Do you have Aran weight yarn picked out?
I'm gonna go with worsted and make it work.
Okay, that works. I have small hands, so they don't fit you. You know somebody. And then I liked the gotcha mitts, which are very similar, but I think the colors are focusing on, the emphasis is on a different syllable.
Mm-hmm.
To say it as somebody else might say. So those are our picks from the 2, but there are 4 options. The other, I'm trying to go back like I'm on my Android device. No, I am not on my Android device. The other 2 are the chevron mitts, which I do like chevrons. Don't get me wrong. And the inversion mitts. Did I already say all 4 of them? Am I repeating myself?
No.
Okay. Whew. I'm not going insane. I
can't see a good picture of them.
Yeah, the bottom one here. That's the best one.
Okay.
I wish I had a way to, and that's got all 3 that we were just talking about in the picture. But yeah, as always, we kind of have the camera situational so that we can have it be more conversational, situational conversational.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the best for demoing things like this, but we always, our show notes always have the items in it. And that is, yep, Elegant Economy. You get 4 patterns with 2 minutes each. Sorry. I just think that's funny. I find myself, infinitely hysterical. And the mistakes I make for $10. Available on Ravelry. What?
Nothing. Your mistakes for $10.
Yep. Mistakes. $10. That's what it'll cost you. So we'll be giving away a copy of that. And then we were also contacted by Amanda Bell, who has a new colorwork hat out in February of 2014 called Hipster Cred. And the pictures of her and her little one and those blue eyes just slay me. Mm-hmm. And I could see my boys wearing a hat like this, or my husband, I think, might actually wear a hat like this. It calls for 2 colors, and the colors she's using must have some variegation / shifting in them in the hat pattern. It's sized from beanie to oversized, from newborn to extra large adult. So lots of sizes there. It's pretty simple color work. I don't see any huge expanses where you have to trap your work, the non-working yarn in the back. So there would be a few there. And yeah, go check it out. It's uber cute, and we're giving one pattern away, I believe, for the pre-KAL, and then she's gonna create a kit, possibly from leftovers from these hats, for us to give away as a end of KAL prize for
lovely.
Participating.
Thank you,
Amanda Bell. That's Dilettante Knits. She was the one who designed the lacy shell, which I believe is now called Jasmine Tea.
Okay.
Yep. I tested that for her. So there's that. And then last but certainly not least, we have the hard to pronounce name for me, Urali, who is Spinny Gonzalez. That's how I remember her, because that's a lot more catchy. Andale. She is out of Scotland, and she has a large assortment of color work pillows, yeah. And I think the pillows would be fun to steek because it's not like a full garment, but they're fun. I mean, they've got some here. I can actually click on them. She's also got some stockings, a sock.
Thing about pillows, don't need to steek them. I said, thing about pillows, don't need to steek them.
Yeah, you could just seam it up and
knit a tube and close the ends.
Well, why did I read that there was steeking involved? The thing about pillows, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well, maybe she's got a button band on hers. That's a little different construction.
Okay, maybe I did see that there. I don't know. Why did I think that there was steeking involved? But I like that. That would probably, it's called Knit, Steek, and Cuddle. That's why I thought it was, there was steeking involved. The name was why. But anyway, you can go out and check that out. But you would be able, we're giving away 2 of those and you can choose any of her patterns. So there's a pillow, there's, looks like a checkers set. Because those aren't chess pieces. Some socks, a Christmas scotting. I love that because she's out of Scotland. And a hat. And a reversible drawstring bag. Yeah. So go check those out. She said she's a fairly new designer and is interested in having folks look. So to enter for this pre-KAL, you've got a wide assortment of patterns that you could possibly win. So could you let us know which one you would be eyeballing? I would like to knit the hipster cred out of, some Max-alanche MCM that I've got left over from a Antaros that I knit.
Yep.
In some pink. And I think gray would look really pretty with that.
Our KAL is longer, right? Or is it just March?
March, April?
Okay.
I
don't know. We've just been saying in March.
I'm focused on the start.
But you have 2 months to knit it. So if you want to wait and see if you win before you start, there's time. There is time.
But yes, I guess I didn't feel like I was being like, you must learn now! Start March 1st. I'm waiting to cast on because I've been wanting to color work and I've been working on you to get the color work KAL in place. And yeah. So, many good things are happening in March. And in April. Yes, don't get me wrong. Good things can happen in April as well. And we've got prizes galore, which we are ever so thankful for. And we are quickly running out of time. So, retreat. I will be sending out a get involved email. I don't know if I've said that to you many times.
Shame.
But it just gets to the end of the day and I haven't done it. It's there. All the things that you can get involved with are there. You just might have to go out and look for them. The retreat bag, which I have sitting here because it had lots of yarns in it. It will be available for pre-order come March 1st. We have some breaking news on that you can have the non-graphic, the retreat graphic, which is only deliverable at the retreat. And then you can also get the bears on the couch if you're not going to the retreat. Yep. And then the t-shirts are going to be up and available for pre-order. We don't have the shirts to model for you, but they're going to be on gray and they're going to be on full color and a V-neck or a crew neck.
Crew, yeah, not scoop.
Not scoop. I'm not big into the scoop. 5K and the yarn crawl are out there and available, which will also be in the get involved email. The KAL is going on, which we're going to have prizes for this year. We need to start a FO thread for that because we already have a finisher over Achievers, which is any of the yarn that will be featured in the marketplace and any designer that will be in the designer showcase. Yep. And Amy and I are secret plotting behind the scenes with other things. Yep, which is fun. And making it feel uber real. And March will be when you will call in with your credit card information once we have the hotel's requests on what that process should be like for them.
Yeah. We gave it to them 2 days ago, so, time. We need to be patient.
I'm just so excited. And the roommates went out, and everybody's happy snappy.
Yep. So, awesome. Swap. There is a swap. If you want to get involved, you will be swapping directly with one other person. And there's a questionnaire that you need to fill out and send to me. I will match, and then after that, you need to communicate with your swap partner and have fun and chat and fill up the threads and be excited to meet each other. And then the requirements and everything are laid out in the swap format. I yanked that from Mandy, from the
Who
Loopy
yanked
News.
it from you?
Well, yeah. I mean, and I originally yanked it from the person who ran the swap for 4 swaps before me.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's just only gotten better.
It is. Mandy added a lot. It's very cute. And then at the favorite things or something, it says bacon and fairies and stuff, so you can kind of get a hint that it's her. It's her questionnaire. So if you think that it's very lovely, thank her. But yeah, filling that out, the top section is what I need, and the bottom section is what your partner needs.
How did you leave your stamp on the questionnaire so that if somebody yanks it from you?
I didn't.
Oh. You should put
I took out references to the Loopy U, except for the
Jay and Nitmaw somewhere in there or something. Come on. She put bacon and fairies. You gotta put... Anyway.
I have no idea. Something about zombies, yeah. Could add zombies to the list, to bacon and fairies.
I'm giving you that it's time to say goodbye, Eyes.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, Oofta.